that the Yorubas having their nations, the Southeast, the Igbos having their own nations, the Hausas or the northern people having their own nations and all that. They got again in 1943 and they did what amalgamation and they tried to form the nation Nigeria just for the British royal business to go through Nigeria could be colonized. So if she's trying to go to that way, then in a way she will be shooting the country she's trying to dearly, or the country she's trying to form shapes from, and she's trying to talk on how organized they are. So she needs to understand that she is now a leader. And as a leader, we know conscious what we say, what we do, and how we say things, because our body languages will matter in things we do. And she must understand that what makes Nigeria unique is its national, the diversity we have in our nation is what is making us strong. Making statements like that actually defies what she stands for. She is the leader of the conservative in the United Kingdom. Now, she needs to understand that she has a Nigerian origin. She has both parents Nigerians, both four grandparents are Nigerians. So she has no link to the UK. Yet she has reason to be the leader of the major opposition, the leader of conservative, meaning anything can happen and she becomes the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. So if she does not believe in diversity in the country of her birth, then she is just playing, she is probably an hypocrite, not believing in the diversity of the UK and the opportunity the United Kingdom have given her to become what she is and what she might still become in future. She might need to understand, yes, I understand her plight, I understand her pain, I understand that she's looking for a better nation, a better Nigeria, or she's trying to start the United Kingdom, that she really belongs to the United Kingdom through and through. Or she might need to spread her, and she might need to have a better way of presenting these things.
All right, I understand we have Aisha Yesufu, who is our second guest. She's well known in the Nigerian civil space. She's a civil rights activist. It's good to see you again, ma'am. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, I think maybe your audio is muted. I couldn't hear you. Just to confirm your audio.
Yeah, my audio is not muted, except if there's a problem.
All right. So before you came in, I wanted to find out I wanted to establish both your positions, really. Larry has been clear what his impressions and general thoughts are about the comments by Badenoch. So for you, I want to also hear your perspective on her comments, not just in this particular instance, but over the years about Nigeria.
I think I saw a statement that someone did, I think was it on Facebook, and the person simply said that just give Kemi a room full of Caucasians and she'll throw everybody under the bus, especially Nigeria. I think she's playing a very dangerous game, and for her it's to bring Nigeria down at every moment to make her look good. And I think she's every racist dream, because this is someone that will come at the people and then you are like, okay, but she's the same color as you, or she's from the same place as a person, as the people she's talking about. It's not just about, I get where Nigerians come from, a lot of Nigerians who feel that, oh, Nigerian police they don't do well. They're the worst in the world. We all know that. Whatever anybody says Nigerian police has done, they've even done worse than that. We know that. But at the same time, also, we should look at, there is something they call what's the word I'm looking for now? Context. Everything is about context. Look at the last statement that she made when they asked her, does she trust the British police? That was it. Answer your question, madam. And for me, I heard the last speaker talking about she's Nigerian, her parents are Nigerian, her grandparents. So she owes nobody nothing. If she doesn't want to be a Nigerian, it's very okay. And the some of the people that we've had that are trying to make her, take on her Nigerianness. They should stop it. They should focus on the country and getting Nigeria be the great country it's supposed to be. She doesn't have to be a Nigerian. But at the same time, we are not the ones that every opportunity she has is to ridicule Nigeria, bring Nigeria down. Like I was saying earlier, you were asked the question, do you trust the British? But go ahead and talk about it. Go ahead and talk about what you're going to do. Then what brought in Nigerian police in there stealing her brother's shoes? What is bringing bringing in the fact that, oh, Nigerians are poor? What is bringing all of that? That is, in another context, that story would be perfect. We'll sympathize with her and all of that. But when you are being asked about, the Nigerian police, today you see a lot of tourists. They talk about London, how unsafe London is. People's cars are being stolen. People walking on the street. Tourists are not safe. 10 years ago, 14 years ago, December, I traveled to London on Christmas Day with my kids. We spent Christmas, New Year in December. It was safe. I wouldn't walk on the streets of London the way I did so many years ago today. Those are what the things I should focus on. The same person who said to people that they should move on from colonialism, that no repatriation would be paid, that it's all a scam where people are talking about what UK did to the world. People were killed, people's system were changed, people, kingdoms were looted, and she comes to say that people should move on. The same person has been unable to move on from the fact that a policeman stole her brother's shoe. There are no places in the world where all police are good. In the same UK, we had a policeman who raped a woman. Does that not make it that, oh, all British police are the rape women? The way the headlines were saying that, oh, Nigerian police are thieves and all of that. One of the things I want us as citizens to understand is that your enemy's enemy is not always your friend. Sometimes they are even your worst enemy. And I think the game that she is playing is actually very dangerous to all of us.
Aisha, I mean, your speeches have given me like 3 questions to ask you straight up, but let me go back to Larry. I'll try and hold on to those thoughts so I can ask you in context. When you spoke earlier, Larry, you talked about the fact that it's like a strategy. You concord with some submission that it's a political strategy by Kemi to bring Nigeria into the fray, and she's trying to play to the gallery. And while you were saying that, I was thinking that, doesn't that bring to question the intelligence of the population she's trying to sell a vision to, that is an obvious card that she is playing? How does that impact the question of integrity? She keeps saying she's someone of integrity. She says it as she feels it, and she's very blunt and has no apology about that. But using a country in this context, if we are to go with that narrative, what does it say about the person we're talking about?
Yeah, what I said, the people she's talking about are intelligent. It's just obvious that she has even after spending a long time here, she's 45 and she'll be here since when she was 16. And she probably spent about 30 years here, 29 to 30 years here. She doesn't understand people. Emotional intelligence is very key as a leader, and it's obvious that Kemi is lacking it. Because if she's not lacking it, then she will know. Because if she's talking about integrity, just like my sister Aisha has said, if she understands it, she will know that she should not be talking. The first set of the comment she was making, immediately she became the leader of the community. People know that this lady probably does not know a lot of things she needs to do. Being an African background, I am not begging her to be a Nigerian. We must understand. I'm not telling her people embrace a Nigerian. I'm only saying that she needs to understand that she is first in Nigeria, whether she likes it or not, and whether being a Brit or not being a Brit now, she's first in Nigeria. All she's generational Nigerian. Now, knowing these basic things that she has, she needs to understand how to present her point and bring them without painting what is happening in Nigeria, without watching what Britain actually done to Nigeria. Because most of these things she's saying, for me, she's actually shooting Britain on the feet, more than any other person. Because a lot of things, Nigeria, they had people before Nigeria became a country, Nigeria before the nomenclature. Nigeria, we have these subnationals, we have these nations, and Britain came and what they do to Nigeria. We saw that some of our artifacts, some of our culture, and other things are just being repatriated.
Decolonization comment she made. I actually did a deep dive, watched her conversation and interviews over the years, and then read some of the comments about, her current statement. If we are to spend time talking about that, we might not really get much accomplished. So I will try and streamline. I just wanted to establish your thoughts and then take on this part. There's another part that is important to bring. But before I do that, Aisha, you said something instructive in the context of the questions that she was asked. She was asked about the British police, and we started talking about her experience. Again, to put it in context, she wasn't referencing Nigeria as it is today, even though we know some of the things she said are factual. She was referencing her experience. Is it fair now? Because she didn't come out and say Nigeria is this today. She said this was her experience. Is it fair to vilify her the way it seems the whole of Africa, mostly Nigerians, are going on?
Well, she's not being vilified. She's not being vilified at all. It's even the people who are taking her on this statement that are being vilified. Because remember, a lot of Nigerians, of course, we don't like our police. They're not doing well at all. Like I said earlier, whatever she said, anybody says they do, they've even done worse than that. I'm not going to stand in front of it. Like, remember what I said? I said the context. That's why when I was making my submission, I made reference to the fact that I was in London to spend Christmas like 14 years ago. That was in 2010 with my kids. I wouldn't do that today. The same London, because she also referred to the London she met in 2004, where she said something of hers was stolen and the police brought it back and all of that. That's not the same London. That's not the same UK. Rather, she didn't mention London specifically. That's not the same UK that it is today, with all the things that are going on and warnings. You see, I even tagged her on a particular video someone recently just did on their phone being snatched out of their hands. So if she's looking at what happened to her in that in how many years ago, 20 years ago, and the way the police is, what about now? And so this is my story. You're being asked about the British police. Focus on the British police. Take on the British police. Do whatever you need to do with them and leave Nigeria out of it. Don't begin to because she does it constantly, and this is not the first time. That's why I'm using the word context. The other time she was asked about something, was it something violence or whatever? She's referencing that she grew up in Nigeria, where it's so violent, where it's this, or whatever is happening right now, it's child's play compared to what she's coming from. She's using the tactics that some politicians have found very useful, which is the tactics of fear. You understand? When you put fear in the people, and when you're talking about intelligence, please, the people, we remember when Brexit happened in the UK, and most people were searching what it meant after it had happened, because they thought Brexit meant one thing: they're going to drive away people, immigrants, and all of that. Democracy, as good as it is, without education is a disaster. We are having more and more citizens that are not educated, that don't understand the nuances, and we don't have as many leaders with integrity not to exploit that, or either lack of intelligence or lack of education. So we're having more exploiting it using words, because at the end of the day, all they want is to get into office, with whatever crooked means they have to get in there. And so that is what makes it, very dangerous. I like the other guest did say that on the issue of emotional intelligence, I think she needs to work on it. And let me just repeat, please. If you don't want to be in Nigeria, it's okay. And I know a lot of people are hurting. Nigeria has hurt a lot of people, but don't keep throwing us under the table.
Actually agrees with you on that she can actually take out the Kemi from her name if she is so pained. But I'm asking this specific question now of you, for the younger generations who might not have been born in the 80s and in the 90s. My personal experience as a child of the 80s and 90s was not I wasn't even in a middle class family. She was at the time at the upper echelon. While we acknowledge there is some truth about what she has said and all of that, but what is the connection between Nigeria and socialism? Nigeria, let me see if I can, Nigeria have a scenario where everything was controlled by the state, where the government decided who did business and all of that, because that was the picture she painted. I needed some clarity from you, and if you have something to add to it, Larry, subsequently you can, please.
Oh, okay. The last part I didn't get to. A clarity on what?
Clarity on, she said she connected Nigeria and socialism in her analogy. Let me see if I can see. She said, I saw what socialism is for millions. It is poverty and broken dreams. At some point, she said this. So I wanted you to clarify. What she was talking about was in the 80s and in the 90s. does Nigeria has that connection? One day every time the state oversaw things like she's portraying, controlling people and their businesses and their choices.
I think maybe she was talking about military, the military rule and the control that they had. But let me quickly add that Shetim Kashim, that is Kashim Shetima, really had no business telling Kemi whether to change her name or not change her name. These are people who rig their way into office. He has no business at all. He should go and face whatever he's facing out there. So for me, even he talking about her, whatever, he absolutely had nothing. And she threw a jab back at him about him going to focus on Boko Haram. She's not related to that North Boko Haram. Kudos for her. It's basketballs that they were doing. They can go on that. Coming back to the issue of the socialism that you talk about, and let me say something. I grew up in the ghetto. And I was born in 1973, so I'm 51 years old now. And I saw in Nigeria, when I was 10, military took over. And I saw how dictatorship can work, how military rule can work. I wouldn't really call it a socialist. Nigeria has always been a mixed economy, if I'm not mistaken. But we had, yes, a lot of, military controlling everything, how things should be done, and nobody having a say. Like, when you see the structural adjustment program and all of that, the suffering that had gone on, even though we're having the same thing right now. But when she puts it in the way of the socialist, this is socialism, I don't get that. But that's one thing that Kemi is very good at doing, putting out, and I find there are people who do that, where they take an experience and make it look as if, oh, they went through so much. Sometimes I call it the romanticizing of poverty or romanticizing of suffering, like she's doing right now. And you see, that's not really the person's lived experience, but they take that identity, take it on. I find it very nauseating, because it's not fun. For those of us who grew up in ghetto, it's debilitating. It strips you of your humanity. Even as an adult, you're really not someone. I grew up seeing soldiers beating up people. For a very long time, I had PTSD over the fact that just seeing anybody in uniform, because of the way they trampled on people's rights. But the last part of the question, I don't think I don't think I have the answer. Please, probably my colleague with you that would be able to do that. I don't think I have enough knowledge to be able to gauge on that socialism and the context of where she was coming from. Yeah, I think Larry, he's able to do that.
Okay, Larry, do you have some thoughts on that?
Yeah. Kemi being born in 1980, or before she left Nigeria, probably saw not the power, but she definitely saw military rule all the time or growing up in Nigeria, and being opportune to have been in the UK, because it's an opportunity for her to have left Nigeria when she left, and she saw and seeing a nation where everything is systemic, and it's systemic and the well structure. So she probably defining that as socialism. But you don't blame her, because you see, the people like Aisha said, she's pinning. Kemi is good at pinning things. She probably does pinning things because she's trying to pin everything she can pin into her own favor, but she might not know it, that it's not going to work well for her. She needs to check. There was a Nigerian before her that was high up there in Labour Party. In Labour Party, guy is the power now, but the guy was high up, and the guy did similar things, and the guy did similar things. Now Labour Party is finding it hard to have people from African descent to rise in their party, and I would say what happened, even the same conservative party she's leading now.
I see someone saying that the more we defend these Nigerian shenanigans, the more Nigerian they oppress us, the poor men. I bet making us stop the defend the useless political system. You see, let me tell you something, Obai finally. What you don't understand is that you can do two things at the same time. You can stand for the truth and you can take on Nigeria. You understand? I take on Nigeria all the time. People do that. But that doesn't mean because you want to take on Nigeria, you sit down and live a life. If you continue doing that, you will be no different from the people who are there, who are also oppressing Nigeria, because it's the truth they don't stand for. That's what makes them oppress citizens. That's what makes them not do the right thing. So when you also see the right thing not being done, even for someone you don't like, even your own enemy, when you see the wrong thing being done against them, go after them. Every day I've been calling out the Nigerian police. They've abducted Dele Farotimi. I've been calling them out. They're the most useless in the world. But when you see something being done against them, when injustice is also meted against them in a way, in a reference, stand for it. You don't only stand for something because you like the person or you hate the person. Stand because it is the truth and maintain that truth. That's how it should be. Yeah, if I
is opposition leader in the United Kingdom, not opposition leader or a leader in Nigeria. Now, what is our nation? What is the leadership in Nigeria doing? How our political class, how are they doing? What are they doing in terms of launching the image of our nation, of doing what is right by proving our wrong? Because it's not about talking. We need to start putting friction into places because our actions are going to speak louder than our voices. And what are the actions we are doing? What are our leaders doing? What are we as citizens? What are we as the political class? What are we in any facet to find ourselves? What are we doing to let people know that this is Nigeria? Nigeria has potential. Nigeria can be better. Or Nigeria is better. And whatever Kenny is saying, doesn't matter because we need to make Nigeria a nation, a good pride that every group will see.
Okay, Larry, while you're on this stretch, I want you to stay on it and just talk. Is this a teachable window? You talked about leadership paying attention to what they're supposed to do. And if it is a teachable window for you, what are the actual lessons we should be learning, not just as a people, but also for our leaders and perhaps for those who might not understand the history and the context of our submissions?
Okay, for me, the teachable one to our leadership recruitment process, Chairman. And what I mean by that, I'm not talking of the political class, I'm not talking of the masses. We need to stop selling our vote. We need to start asking people the right questions. We need to start standing in solidarity in what we believe in right leaders, in ensuring that we get the right people to lead us. And now when we get the right people to lead us, we can hold them accountable. Because if we don't sell our vote at 5,000, 2,000, in 6 years of our we can hold these leaders to accountable. Now, and if we stop asking our political class to tell them to pay hospital bills, to pay children's school fees, and birthday fees for our children, we can hold them to accountable. Then our leaders, what are they doing? Are they still going on a jamboree, on borrowing spree? Are they going on jamboree, or buying a lot, or buying enough flights and increasing the presidential air fleet and not doing what they need to do? Are they still traveling up and down? Or not facing what they need to face? Are they not setting the right structure? Because our political leaders are setting the right structure for people of leadership, where we now understand what is true, and we need to stop relying to the masses because we lie a lot to the masses. We tell us it's still trillions of naira in from something, and we are pouring less amount of such amount. We say cost of finance our budget. They ask yourself, what have you seen and what have you not seen? We need to be transparent, and we need to understand that our people need to be able to hold their head up high everywhere we find ourselves as Nigerians. For me, I can be proud Nigerian anywhere I go, no matter what happens. But we need to understand that not everybody can be like Larry. We need to have more people that can hold up their head high up and tell people they're Nigerians, not because somebody is saying anything bad about Nigeria, but because people who can see that Nigeria is truly a nation where that is well endowed both in natural and human resources.
All right, Larry, I was trying to interject, but didn't want to stop you completely. Let me come back to Aisha. We're almost out of time. In fact, we are out of time, but this is an important part. Somebody made a statement about, we know Kemi has no allegiance to Nigeria now from her statement, but it brings the question, Nigeria's broader relationship with those in the diaspora. The question would be, how important should depiction of Nigeria be, especially from those in the diaspora community who have global influence?
Can you repeat that question again? How would what?
How important is it that the diaspora community, in their depiction of Nigeria, let me take that again.
Okay. I think I get. I think I get the whole essence of the question.
Of Nigeria be, especially for those with global influence?
Okay, so the thing for me is this, and I said this to a lot of Nigerians in diaspora, is that no matter what happens, there will still be a Nigerian, that is attached to your name. For example, let me give you an example. If, for example, you have someone that is British Canadian or American Canadian or French Canadian, you understand, when people see that person, they will say, oh, they are there because they want to be there. But if you're Nigerian Canadian, they will say you are there because you have to be there. So there's an attachment. Nigeria working in a way also reflects, well on them. But for us, I think as Nigerians, we should have no expectations from anyone. What we should see all this about is the fact that let's give the right people the right opportunity. I remember when Kemi became the leader of our party, one of the things that was during the period when Yeson Wike had said that Nigerians will go to London and do the jobs that they ordinarily would not do in Nigeria. And I said it's all about opportunity to grow, opportunity to excel, opportunity not to be held down. And so that for me, I think when we talk about lessons, these are the things we should be picking from this. Allow people to have the opportunity. We're talking about language, we talk about tribalism, we refuse to allow people get into office because of one thing or the other. So that's what we should focus on. In the terms of the Nigerians in diaspora, it also depends also in the way that Nigerians treat its own citizens. If you treat them well, when they go elsewhere, they will be proud to be Nigerians. They will do everything to ensure that they're putting Nigeria, in the right frame. But also, we should not be expectant of people. People's allegiance is to the country that they belong to. We always find this thing, because she's there, all of a sudden we assume that, if she gets in, becomes the Prime Minister of UK, is going to favor Nigeria in one way. It's not going to favor Nigeria in one way or the other. From Kemi's antecedent and the way she's going and the game she's playing, Nigerians are really going to suffer. I said that in a tweet, because at the end of the day, she's going to throw us so down that everybody is looking at us and say, if one of you can say that about you people, then you people must be very this. And for me, that's quite a dangerous game that she's playing. She should focus on, getting the integrity is not by mouthing it. You understand? According to Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, integrity is not complete until it's consistent. She needs to be consistent with integrity in her action, not integrity in mouthing the word integrity.
All right, Larry, your final thoughts.
My final thoughts is every needs to trace her step. She needs to understand know what is right. Look, she needs to show that she's been here, but she does not have to play any country, any place, or anything. The law of the United Kingdom is against discrimination and stuff like that she's doing rhetoric discrimination. So she needs to understand that. While back home, Nigerians need to understand that we need to take our nation to a higher place, and we need to move ourselves a generation on a better Nigeria, because there's no place, no place like home. We're all Nigerians and always going to be Nigerians, no matter the number of places you find yourself or you be a citizen. We are Nigerians that love Nigerians to our homes, always be Nigerian. So there's no better place than home. We need to make Nigeria a good nation.
All right, Larry, thank you very much for speaking with us. Aisha, thank you very much as well for speaking with us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
All right, bye. I mean, the guests have spoken extensively on this subject, but I'll just wrap up with these two quotes.
Hello, everyone. So sorry, I was on a program, so I just had to quickly, go over it and do it. And I think, let me tell you guys something. For me, and this is who I am, and I don't know how to say it, not to sound too cocky or too whatever. Where I am, for me, where the truth is where I will pitch my tent. It's where I'll pitch my everything. I don't care whether I like you or I don't like you. Me and you can quarrel this very minute. If I need to defend your truth, I will defend it. You and I can be friends. We can be the best of friends. We can be body. We can be family. if you are not the one that is on the side of truth, I will not be with you. I will come after you, be wondering, is this my enemy? No, it's not. It's about consistently trying to, not that I'm saying I'm always right too. I'm not, no. Of course, I make mistakes, a lot of them, you understand. But like, who was it that said, I think it's Antiobi that used to say something. She would say, mistake of the heart, is it mistake of the heart, no mistake of the heart, no mistake of the head. As in, there are mistakes that you made that you didn't deliberately make the mistake. You thought maybe you were doing the right thing, or that was the right thing, and then that mistake happened. Then there's the one that is calculating. You decided you were going to. So for me, I'm not saying I don't make mistakes, and I will say things the way I see them. I don't. Oh, because the crowd is this. Someone, there was a tweet I saw yesterday. Let me look for that tweet. You understand? I read that tweet out. Where did I see? Yeah, because I knew I replied. It was just so funny. Uh, I replied on that tweet. So somebody said, he said, we shy away from speaking our minds so we don't offend important or powerful people because we hope one day we will need their help or favor. In the end, we become hostages to silence. Yet, that moment for favor may never come. Speak up. So he said hashtag leadership. And this is someone called Dr. Gatimu Muchai, PhD. I've never seen him. I don't know him. I just saw his message. And so on top of that, I quoted his tweet and I say sometimes it is for the mob to like us, because a lot of people keep quiet. Oh, they won't say anything because, like he rightly said, so that the leaders, I don't want to say anything. I will not call out bad governance. I will not call out this in case I need something or whatever. I don't want to. Even if I need something, don't give me. That truth must be said. And I say sometimes it's for the mob to like us. So because people are thinking in one direction, people expect, oh, that's the popular direction, you must be there. I am never want to be in popular direction. I don't do popular whatever. I do my thoughts. If it aligns, is the popular thought, fine and good. If it doesn't align, is the popular thought, it's still okay. In short, growing up on my Twitter handle, let me go and look at. I'm not sure. Okay, whether I put that same bio on my YouTube, on my Twitter handle, and most of my social media handle, I said I do not do labels. I am me. I say it as it is. My mom says in my court, nobody wins. You would either love me or hate me, and either one is perfectly okay. You see that thing about my mom says in my court, and nobody wins. It's not today. It's right from when I was a child. And when she says it, she's usually very angry at that time. She's like, I bet, get away, Joe. You, this is nobody. Because for me, I'm not on your side. I always tell people I'm not on anybody's side. I try to find where is the truth, and that's where I'm patching on. So today, the same you that I praise, I might call you out. The same you that I call you out, I might praise you. I might say this. That's just who I am, and it's unapologetic. I don't need to be right all the time. I don't. My thoughts don't need to align with the generality of people. It's okay. So that's just it. You see this thing that people keep talking about. Oh, like the statement that someone made earlier. Oh, when people are calling out Nigeria, Kemi is not calling out Nigeria. Kemi is not calling. Kemi is putting Nigeria down for her to use it as a stepping stone to grow. Many people, I saw a lot of people who thought Kemi just started making her remarks when Abike Dabri or Kashim Shettima went after. No. That Abigail Dabri, it's just that nonsense that those people do. It's rubbish. Why are you going to meet her? What allegiance does she have to? You don't. Sunak was this thing. He didn't bring India down. He wasn't constantly abusing India. You think India don't have crime? You people think we have crime. We know what we have in Nigeria is loud mouth. 419 that they do. Nigerians are not the number one. Neither are they number two or number three in 419. But guess what? It is the Nigerian police who I did they hear. UK that people entered, people were. Nigerians are not the ones with the highest immigrant number in the UK. But guess what? Now we loud pass. That's just it. All the things happening there. Did you hear him bringing that his call? He never did. At the same time, nobody. I'm not. She's not there to do PR for Nigeria. Know that she has a religion. That UK is her country. That's the way it is, whether you Nigerian or whatever. But for her to constantly, at every moment that she can find, continuously bring this nation down, not just this nation. The same woman who came to say that, oh, people repatriation is a scam, now UK has nothing to pay. Those people who are using it to say that what UK did to them, it affected their development, is all a scam. People should move on from the past and go into the future. Really? I've said this before, that a very dangerous game that woman is playing. When there are racists there that are the same color as the thing that they are being racist against, and then they are the most dangerous people, and then they are the other place. They'll be like, okay, now black person talker now. I saw someone who was saying that he said that, oh, those people will not make Kemi a prime minister. I said they can make Kemi prime minister. You know what? Because all those things that they will not be able to do, she will do it for them. The thing where they go fear, they will say, if they do it now, they will say they are being racist, or they are being this, they are being discriminatory, or they are being this. She will come and do it. And then she was, after all, she's from that side. And after all, she's the same color. Haven't you seen immigrants are the ones who fight other immigrants more than any other person to that kind of thing? I don't know. They need to be a name for that kind, of behavior and that kind of this. So this is not about that someone is trying to, like someone said, which I understand is something that, oh, she's trying to bring Nigerian this thing to the globe. No, that's not what she's doing. There are some that you say, oh, the problems are in Nigeria, trying to force, like hold the Nigerian government accountable. I know, already know the Nigerian government accountable. And like I said, in this thing, they asked you, what do you have confidence in the British police? You brought in Nigerian police into the matter. You brought in all of us that we are poor. Nigerians are poor, very poor people, poor nation. If UK is not allowing enabling, and that was the tweet I did to say, if UK is not allowing enabling environment for people to steal our wealth and carry it to there to go and keep it, Nigeria and poor will not be in the same sentence. We are not a poor nation. We have poor leaders who are mismanaging our resources and our wealth with the tacit approval of those from outside. When the election happened, the party she's part of was the first, the election that Tinubu rigged. Among the first that congratulated Tinubu on the rigging that he had done. The UK High Commission will come out. I even did a video that time and called her out. Will come out and say that the election was very kiniko. I said election that people were killed is very good to you, because it is not your people that are killed. When you people do election in UK, nobody is killed, nobody is afraid for their life, nobody is afraid ballot to be snatched, any of those things. But when they do election in our own place, people are killed, ballot paper is not. Somebody had to use that 2023 election. Somebody was caught. She went to the hospital, still herself, came back, still voted with her blood dropping on her ballot paper. And you are sitting there in your office and you are saying that, oh, the election was the best you had seen in this thing. Are you okay? It was from there and for every fora that I found myself in, I constantly say to them, we must have a universally accepted standard of what free, fair, credible election is, because we cannot have election where we are being killed. You people, we call it free, fair, credible, but the ones that you people do in your own country, nobody is being killed. And so for me, those are these things. So she's not coming as in, oh, she's trying to, like an activist. I saw someone who said that, oh, this is what Okonja Iweala should have been doing, that she's not doing, that this Kemi is not doing it. What is Kemi doing? Calling us all whatever, at every time that she can, to put us out down there. And what even makes it so much is that these are not even lived experiences. Because that's what people are pointing out. I say, madam, see what this picture you paint out of Nigeria, where you see this one? Where is it? There are some people where they tell you about Nigeria, what Nigeria has done to them, the crime the nation Nigeria has done to them. In short, even you'll be ashamed that you are Nigerian. There are some people with those lived experiences. There are some people that don't have those experiences, but they constantly use those experiences because, as far as they are concerned, it's going to give them leverage for something. It's just like some people, you see some people, they were never poor, their parents were never poor. Then you now see them when they're, oh, we used to be poor. I'm like, that thing hurts me. It find it very annoying, because poverty should be classified as a crime against humanity. Except if you've never been poor. That's why you romanticize poverty. There's nothing romantic about poverty. It's one of the most debilitating things in this world. You are not a human being. You are not seen as a human being. You're just seen as numbers, as just things. You're just like an animal. You're just seen as an animal walking. Because I've been in that place. I grew up in that kind of environment. And I vowed that I needed to escape from it. And thank God today I have escaped it. But I have not forgotten where I'm from. So when I see people trying to, romanticize this suffering of people, honestly, it is really not fair. Someone says that Nigeria is not whatever you want to call Nigeria, call it that. Whatever it is. You see, for me, one of the things I don't do, I don't sit down and just talk and not work. Whatever I'm doing, I put action to it. You understand? So whatever it is, and however Nigeria will work, let it, for me, that's what it. If it's one Nigeria, if we need to separate Nigeria into 36 countries, I'm in for it. But can you put in the work? What you find is that most of you will talk. When they say come and put in the work, you will not put in the work. Now, if we tell you that you are saying this one now, Nigeria, come, let's go to National Assembly, or let's get you into one this thing, so that you go and push that motion that let's separate Nigeria. Let's do this. You see that UK, they are separate countries. They are 4 in 1. Scotland, England, what's the other? Wales, Northern Ireland. 4. When they want to feel like, during Olympics, they call themselves Great Britain. During other football, they play it individually. We can do the same thing. We don't have to be this thing. But to just sit down and say, oh, Nigeria will never work. Nigeria is a contraption. Nigeria is a zoo. Nigeria, and just sit down there. Meanwhile, you'll be the person for inside now. That's the thing. Then someone said, there's a comment here that, are you going to fight with someone that your president will still go and beg cap in hand? The illegitimate president we have, and whoever it is that it's in there. That's the problem. And this is what I keep saying. They should stop giving Nigeria those money. We don't need the handout. Stop it. I want them to stop all these handouts they do, because at the end of the day, they are not handouts. They will tell you they've given you 200 million aid. Half of that 200 million is spent in their country as whatever logistics, whatever fee they are paying. Then the other half, you must buy things from their whatever. And at the end of the day, giving to illegitimate rulers, giving to people who rig election, giving to bad leaders to continue to destroy the country. How did we gain? Let them stop it. See how many times World Bank has given loan to Tinubu. Loan that they know very well that these loans are not being used. These loans, as soon as they come into the country, they are taken out of the country. Will they tell me that they don't follow the money, they don't see the trail? These loans that they see, where they are saying they use a World Bank whatever loan or whatever to do something, and they are telling you borehole. I think there are someone, whether they repair borehole with something million, how many million. They are building a light, this thing for street light for almost 200 million naira per one. They are digging borehole for almost 200 million per one. Is that loan? Those are no loans. Those are things to keep us down, and that's what they do. So please, I would love it if we anybody goes cap in hand from Nigeria, and then they don't give us. Let us eat, let us chop sand. We will have sense, and we will use that sense, to do other things that we are supposed to do, instead of just sitting down here and just doing nothing and behaving anyhow. Yes, Jubilee Osawa. Yes, you're so right. She said she reminds me of Candace Owens of the US. You're so right. I didn't even think about that. You're so right. Oh Lord, that woman is, oh Lord have mercy. Anytime I just try not to watch her videos, not to do it. I just pass. If you see that one, I will sit down and carry you black down. So she go dey, now she dey attack black people pass. Meanwhile, she's black. Oh. But those are the kind of people that say they are racist. They are racist to even their own people, their own race. They are racist to their own race. So then you now, but she's black now, she's saying this thing about it. And then the dangerous thing about such people is that whatever they say, others will come and say, oh yes, that is it. After all, this person has said this thing. And most times they use the danger of a single story. You know, when Chimamanda talked about the danger of a single story, that's what it is. I saw this thing on the headline. Guardian said, oh, Nigerian police are all thieves. I'm not trying to defend Nigerian police. We know they do all of those things. Nigerian police are all still, because Kemi said that they stole, that instead of they steal from the people instead of protecting this thing. Kemi said that they stole shoe from her brother. The same person that said that people that breaches stole from them is a scam. They should not be repatriated. There should not be repatriation. Nothing should be done. And then so I came on that same headline. So me too, I say British police, instead of protecting their citizens, they rape their citizens. Because there's a story not too long ago of, I think he even raped and killed, the woman. Though they're checking the system to find how that was allowed to happen. But that's the danger of a single story. And like Chimamanda said, the danger of a single story is that it's not true. It's not that there's no truth in it, but it is now used to, cover every other thing and make it as if that's the reality, that's the thing about everyone. Like now, I'm an adult woman. Most people, like when they are talking about how do I put it now? When they are talking about stereotypes and stuff, like I always tell people, go and meet your family and say you want to marry an Edo woman. You see how they will shout. Oh, Edo women, they say we are very quarrelsome, we are this, we are that, we are. I say for me, oh me, I know they even mind. But that's the danger of a single story. Maybe one person had this thing with one Edo woman, one this, and then that's the story that flies, and it goes round. And I said to her, our duty is to sit down and ensure that our different police are protecting the people the way they're supposed to protect the people, not just jump on bad. Anyway, Sha. Tommy Adegbola. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your kind words. I really appreciate it. The problem is that politics is a means to enrich the corrupt. We should try a different system. Instead of political position, assign jobs where we employ the most capable or address our needs. So that is the thing, Aqua Abasi. I agree with you that politics hasn't done us very well, especially in this part of the country. But it's still the same thing. This thing that you are asking is still going to be politics. Because when you say assign jobs, who is going to assign the jobs? And then in assigning that job, people will begin to lobby for it. When they lobby for it, that is politics. Then we have to play politics. Either the person that is going to be chosen to not be the one assigning the job. Because you see this thing, the thing is that it's just that we've not had character and integrity in politics. Well, politics need integrity and character to the extent that you see power that you can use to enrich yourself, but you refuse to use it. And that's the reason why a lot of politics of today, there's no longer integrity. That was the difference between the West and us, the kind of politics they did, because they had people with integrity who did politics, who even when there are certain things that they can use to their advantage, they refuse to do it. I will give you an example. Al Gore, when Al Gore did that election with George Bush, in short, literally, everybody knew Al Gore won that election. There was Mago, I think, was it from Florida, where Jeb Bush was the brother, governor of a state. They did some kind of Mago. People knew that, this vote. But, Al Gore said what? For the nation, it's better than for his own personal ambition. Those are the kind of politicians with integrity that they had. You understand? Now, those integrity, they don't get them again. The politicians that they have are the ones that will do anything to get into power, say anything, lie, whatever lie. Now, then can't even they learn past the ones we have. So it's not really the politics. It's not politics that is not good. It is that the people who are doing politics are not the ones without integrity. You understand? They're the ones that will say, no, I will not do this thing because I want to get this thing. Because I know it won't be the best, even though it will favor me the best. So that's what we haven't had. So I don't think it's really about, say, politics. Because at the end of the day, if you say assign jobs, who will do the assigning? And then when it is being assigned, people will lobby. Lobbies. Remember, even there's something called office politics. So politics is not just, when they go to the ballot. Politics is life. But I always say to people, the fact that I'm doing this thing, I was wearing this hijab, I had other hijab, it's about choices. I could have chosen another one. There was a politics attached to me saying, let me wear brown today as a gay. So that's politics, that's choices. That's usually the way it is. In election, but no election, but nationally televised jobs. National, the employees get reviewed each quarter and promoted or fired accordingly. So it's still the same thing, right? When you so let me, I don't know how to, let me see if I can explain it. I can put my thoughts to words. Everything is about power. Even if you say, like me, like I used to joke before, I said Nigeria does not need a president. Nigeria should have a CEO, which is like what you're doing. Let's advertise for it. And no Nigeria should apply. Let's have some other people come and just be CEO of Nigeria and manage our resources. I get that's what you're saying. And in order this thing. But at the end of the day, politics will still enter into it because people will lobby for it. Then they will now go and be lobbying those people that assign the jobs. And like you said, yes, if they get in review, but we already do that. That's what's supposed to be done every 4 years. Every 4 years, you don't do well, come and be going home. Another person, because I mean, when you're talking about governance, you can't do it in terms of months to say every 2 months or 3 months you will check someone. So that's why it's done should I be like 20, so let's like in a period of 16 years, a quarter will be like 4 years. Every 4 years you review, you vote the person in or you vote the person out. So these are some of the things that should be done. It's just that this system, because we have people who are poor, people who have been marginalized, education is the biggest problem we don't have, and so these people just stay in. And then this how do I say it, and there's some other people also who just want to continue to control power. We always forget religion has played a very huge negative role on on the leadership and politics in our country. They use religious a lot to keep the people oppressed. It's one of those things. Henry A, thank you so much for your kind words. God bless you. Oh my goodness, streams of favor. Yes. It says nice frames you got on your eyes. Thank you. I actually just got them. Usually my husband used to be very angry with the other ones. I used to buy this, even though this one is still, I used to buy those one pound eyeglasses. My husband was like, why are you buying these cheap eyeglasses? Why are you buying these cheap reading glasses? But you guys, you know why? They are the ones that work for me. You see those ones that I will go to hospital, they will measure my eye. There was a time I spent almost like, is it like 500K doing my eyes, my glasses, bought the glasses, everything. They weren't working for me. I will do in no time the thing will know. But this one that I will check reading, I'll just go and buy. So I just bought this one's newly. Uh Kingsley Eze say, I wish they will give you time to lead this outcome because you are more than a leader. My love for you is tough not. Thank you so much for your kind words, and I really appreciate that. And leadership is usually about caring, and for me, that's why I've said to people, look, I look for empathy now before and character before I look for competence and capacity, because if you have empathy and character, even if you don't know how to do the job, you will get people that will do the job because you want the best, for your own people. But one of the things that we've done, if we stayed away from politics, even me myself, I'm talking to myself. I'm part of the problem because this staying away, I up till now, I've supported candidates in different political parties, but I've never been in any political party. It's just that, oh Lord have mercy, is the leadership is such, it's a body, it's service. For example, now I'm currently not in Nigeria. I traveled out on the 18th of November. Yes, I had a couple of countries I was going to go to, and from there I went to my daughter's graduation. I'm going to be back in Nigeria by January, right? And this is the kind of freedom I enjoy. That if I'm in any political position or whatever, I will enjoy it. I won't be able to just carry my bag because I do that a lot. Sometimes I spend a month, 2 months, 3 months. I travel out. In short, in 2023, this is 2024, right? Yeah, I think 2023, I spent less than 3 months in Nigeria. My husband was even telling me that, oh, that I didn't need to pay tax for that year because I wasn't in Nigeria, for the greater part of the year. So for me, it's that freedom that I just so love, and it's selfish. And so we need to just get away from it and begin to put ourselves into this politics that we might not like it, it might be dirty, but we need to clean it up and get things there. Tommy said people are surviving on autopilot in Nigeria. There's absolutely no structure, no direction, no vision. You're right. People are, but we're surviving on vibes and inshallah. We're surviving on prayers. That's what Nigerians think they have the patent to prayer. Let's get to work. Let's get something done. No, God will do this. God will do this. And because Nigerians are very selfish, we are selfish people. People just want, if their own day okay, it's okay, instead of let it be okay for everybody. So everybody is fighting to get their own okay. We forget that it's when we work together for everyone to be good, then it will be good for all of us. Because even if you have the money, if the environment is not good, how is your own good? I see people who will drive, like yesterday, I was seeing an artist in Lagos with his big Lamborghini, and then they are having to have security all around the Lambo. Like, you cannot even drive on the road without pothole. Imagine all that money you spent on your Lamborghini and you are driving with it, your car be doing like this. Anyway, yes, so Henry, if they do anyhow, they go see anyhow. We are na only one die we get. And anyhow we that corner, so that die go be. We know the fear. When time reach, person go parking load, they go. Me, they tell you, say, if you buy me, no wahala. When I reach there, you go come, me don become senior man, senior woman. I go deal with, I go see oppress you, deal with you over there. Well done, Michael. Good evening to you and everyone. Thank you so much for being part of this today. Yeah, it's been a long time, Michael. Yeah, it's actually been a long, but I do videos every day. I do 4 videos every day just talking about the issues, because we can't just afford not to talk about. So you can always watch those videos out there. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll be moving on, but we are doing live with Aisha every Saturday from what's the time now? 5 p.m. Is it 5 p.m. or 6 p.m.? Hey Lord, oh, see my life. No, it's 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Nigerian time. Yes, 5 p.m. Nigerian time. We do live with Aisha. Last week Saturday we had Kate Henshaw. Kate Henshaw was our guest. This week Saturday we see who our guest is. So I'm doing great. I'm doing fine. Thank you so much, everyone. I greet you to Oga Mike Udo. Thank you so much. Say my name. More Peter Bott. I've said your name. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Kingsley Eze. We are going through so much in Nigeria. Of course, I remember we used to have a lot of live sessions. Then I had to stop due to health issues. We are much better, and I'm sure one of these days we're going to revive that and do more of the live sessions often. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.